guys, I'm here to talk about one of the most important things for us filmmakers, and that is video transmitters. Accsoon hit me up. I think that's how you said their name, Accsoon. These have literally fixed all of my issues with all my previous transmitters I've had. So I'm just going to do a review on these. This video is sponsored by Accsoon. Thank you guys for sending these out to me. I am obsessed with them. They've just made my life a lot easier. So previous transmitters I was using, the biggest issue that we're running into is loop out, whether that was through HDMI or through SDI. A lot of transmitters for some reason just don't have the option. Why loop out is important, say if you're setting up a gimbal and you have your camera on there and your operator needs a monitor, you then have to put a transmitter either between that monitor and the camera or after the monitor. It's better to do it before the monitor because you get less delay on your wireless receiver then. When you do that though, a lot of transmitters won't allow you to put a monitor in after it. So in the last music video I shot before I moved here to Austin, Texas, we got stuck with that and I felt so bad for my operator because he had to then just monitor off the camera's little 3-inch like LCD screen. Like that is just a big no-no. There's only so much accuracy we can get, but we need to do that because we had a follow focus on set too. And that's also just as equally as important as your composition and being able to see what the hell you're doing. But with that, with these Accsoon CineViews, there's two options. One option comes with an HDMI in and SDI in for the transmitter. Now, if you have a SDI camera like the Red Komodo or any cinema camera, SDI is a little bit more reliable and it's also a faster transmission straight from the camera when you use SDI. But the ones I use for all my gigs, because the R5C is my main camera now and I do not have SDI on there, is the CineView HEs. Now, the cool thing about this is it fixes my previous issue where it has the HDMI in and an HDMI loop out. So basically, again, from the R5C, I could plug an HDMI cable straight into here, and then from here I could take another HDMI cable and plug it into another monitor so I can monitor my camera, and then the follow focus or the client, the creative director, whoever's there that needs to monitor it will be able to monitor it. But going back to that music video, the other issue with that was I then had to hover over my AC just to look at the monitor while he's trying to focus and everything, which is annoying. Neither of us want to do that. But say if I'm traveling somewhere and I'm having to pack light, I could just take my iPad or I could take my iPhone, I could download the app and just monitor straight from that app, which is freaking amazing. From that app too, you also have all these extra tools on there to where you can check exposure, you can check focus, put LUTs on there, all that can actually be helpful to the team. So either on my gigs, I'm usually directing on majority of them, but sometimes obviously indie filmmaking, I'd have to put my hands in every other factor too. So it's cool that I'm able to help out the DP or the AC or whoever it is. Also show the client. I could hook up the app to one of the client's phones if they want, and I can show up for them, just set up everyone so they can all be monitoring from it. Some other things I like about these is the menu system's a little bit more intuitive. The layout looks super clean. The other thing, which is going to lead to a big point, but first, these antennas, just the way that they're laid out, they're a little bit more shorter and stubby, so they stay out of the way a lot better. This is the port keys HS7T, I believe. I'm just like throwing this all around. So you can see these antennas tuck into there perfectly, so it's way less of an issue. So that leads me to the coolest thing about these. It does dual band. So it's 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, and it bounces back between that automatically. It's sending and receiving both the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz at the same time. So if not all the data from the 5G feed arrives at the receiver due to like interference or whatever, the 2.4 signal will pick up the extra weight and it'll try to pump out the most data and best image that it can. So say if you're shooting out in a busy city or indoors or anything like that and your signal is about to drop because you're going through walls or just a lot of other signals are coming in, this thing is able just to bounce all over the place so it can keep a clear image for you. And with that dual band, you could quickly go in and you could choose whether it's just in normal mode where it's bouncing out quality between speed, or you could choose a high quality mode, which is usually what I'm using for stuff like this, or you could choose speed mode. So if I'm handing this over to my AC, I could put in speed mode so he can get the most quickest transmission on there for when he's doing follow focus. Last thing real quick, I just want to talk about the layout again. The way that they did the channel selector makes it easy to where you're not fumbling around and you don't have to go through menus and deal with all that. It's just a quick physical button here. It's tucked away pretty well too, so it won't get bumped. You can also power it through USB-C, which is super clutch because if you have a power bank, you easily slap it in there as a last resort. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions or just any wonders about them, just put them down in the comments and I'll try my best to reply to everyone. It's pretty much all I've been using because again, my previous ones, they said the transmission was supposed to be 1,000 feet. It wasn't. The app support, the loop out, the SDI, everything about it. Like I have zero complaints about these. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it.